Cinch, help me out. Get a circle.
Right here. Where you at?
Right there. On me.
Hold up, B. Stop. To your right. There you go. To your left. There you go, brother.
All right, let's get it, Art. Let's go, Archers! All right, fellas. Gateway, I need a roster. Archers!
Welcome back to the 2024 NBBA World Series of Beat Baseball, presented by Mind's Eye Radio and the St. Louis Lighthouse, and sanctioned by the National Beat Baseball Association. Well, we've come down to it now. We have one team already through to the championship game tomorrow. We will decide who the second team will be. It is the Gateway Archers, coming off their loss to the BSO Philly Fire, and the Indy Thunder, coming off a dramatic comeback win over the Indy Edge. The Indy Thunder, of course, five-time NBBA World Champions, 2016 through 2021. They finished third a year ago, losing in this very game to the San Antonio Jets, who have a couple of players that are now on the Gateway Archers. Gateway looking to bounce back, make it to tomorrow. Philly Fire already know they're in. We'll see who will join them. David Benny alongside Rosina Foster back at Field 12, as we have been all week. And Rosina, you know, you've got Darnell Booker and his squad on one side with Jared Woodard pitching. You've got Mike Curtis pitching for the other team, Orlando Gonzalez, Jason Frazier. This is going to be a good one, and for one of these teams, there is no tomorrow.
We do have them up at home plate as they're getting ready for that coin toss. Going to get started here very quickly, as we're already running behind. Archers or the Thunder, either one has a long journey ahead of them. Whichever one wins, they're still going to have to beat out twice tomorrow to win this. So it's going to be still a struggle no matter who it's going to go to. But for now, we're right here with the Thunder and the Archers. Thunder on our left at third base side. Archers on our right at first. Archers wearing white jerseys with their big logo blue and pink and white. And it looks like Archers might have won the coin toss. Archers are going to be the home team. We have Thunder on our left with their gray, light gray and white jerseys. We got some handshaking there with Adam Rodenbeck and Mark Morris. and Kyle Bora there as they're going to head back to the bench. And we're going to try to get things started here quite quickly. Thank you to our All-Star Club Game of the Day sponsors today, accessibilityofficer.com, Bosma Enterprises, and S&J Catering. You'll hear a little bit more about them a little later on in just a few. We have archers taking a knee and a huddle on our right as they're going to prepare to take the field, and some stretches going on by Aaron C. and a few other of the Thunder on our left.
This game getting off to a little bit of a late start, and that's because the Indy Thunder Indy Edge game finished up late, and we had to wait, of course, for that game to get over with to figure out who the other participant would be in this one. Thunder and Archers. One of these teams will have to win 2 games tomorrow, but that's not unheard of. Of course, the Indy Thunder did it in 2017. They won 7 straight games to come back and take the championship. Winner of this game will face the Philly Fire. Loser of this game will finish in 3rd place for the tournament.
So Archer's going to prepare to take the field, and when they finish here, and they'll go home back to their jobs. But have you ever struggled to get a job? Forget the job, what about just getting that interview? If you haven't heard of the Getting Hired playbook, that's how blind people like you today are getting job interviews left and right, and even better, getting offers from the companies they actually want to work for. The next GHP training starts in August, so go to accessibilityofficer.com and click on vocational rehabilitation. Accessibility is with 2 A's. Accessibilityofficer.com and get a job today.
This is now the only game going on in this time slot. All other games have been carried to completion, so we've got a huge crowd out here. Now a big crowd right around our scorer's table as we are behind home plate, and we are getting set to go. As you hear the team start to rev it up, the Indy Thunder over there, you'll hear their patented team cheer that we've heard so many times at this World Series before, and it's usually meant, if you heard that cheer, that you were about to go out and get beat. But the Thunder dropped the game yesterday to the Philly Fire and came back today. They've had to win twice today. The Archers have only had to win once. And there it is.
And they're sounding off. We do have the starting lineup for the Archers, which is going to be the same as what they just had in our previous. I have not received the lineup for the Thunder yet, but we will check it out as they come up for their start at bat. And they've just finished their cheer there.
This is a rubber match of sorts. The Gateway Archers and Indy Thunder have played 4 times so far this season, each of them winning 2 games in the series while the other was at less than full strength. These 2 teams faced each other in Las Vegas, in Indianapolis, in Bolingbrook, and in Champaign, Illinois, each winning 2. The Archers winning the first 2, the Thunder winning the last 2. So who is going to take the season series and move on to tomorrow's championship against the Philly Fire? We don't know. We're about to watch this game, but I think we're going to see a good one.
So we do have Cody Jeffries has stepped up to home plate, so he's going to be the lead off for the Thunder as he's waiting. It looks like the outfield is completely set. Last little bit of sunscreen being applied from umps and all our volunteers. Speaking of which, a big shout out to all those volunteers, scorekeepers, base runners, our umpires, people running bases and balls and water and moving teams from field to field. Great big shout out to all the volunteers who make this possible.
Cassie?
Jaden Price is once again our plate umpire. Missy Lakowski is our scorekeeper for today's game. The coaching matchup, Orlando Gonzalez from the Gateway Archers and Darnell Booker, who will be going into the Hall of Fame in a little more than 24 hours, but he doesn't care about that. He wants his 6th championship as a coach. He also won a championship as a player way back in 1990 with a team called the Indy Eagles.
So we're being called for all quiet. Jared Woodard pitching for Cody Jeffries.
And Jaden says play ball we will. For the second spot in the championship game.
It's going to be just underneath the bat.
Cody Jeffries, the former Atlanta Chaos, he was last year's batting champion at the World Series, had the highest batting average of any player in the tournament.
It's going to be a grounder deep into left as he runs for third. Justin coming up to pick that off, but not getting it in time. It's going to be the first run up on the board for the Thunder, Cody Jeffries.
Dangerous combination of power and speed for Jeffries. 1-0 Thunder already, just getting started.
Going to have Zach Bueller up next for the Thunder. And Aaron C. on deck.
Now, Zach Bueller was a part of the Indy Thunder dynasty run from 2016 through 2021. Missed the drive for 5 in 2021 because he was competing in Tokyo in his other sport, which is goalball. He is a Team USA alternate this year, so he's on standby in case they need him in Paris. But lucky for the Thunder, he was able to be here.
Dropping down straight at the plate. Going just barely past Jared. It's going to be fair on the ground center as he runs towards third. The mark coming up on it, but not going to beat Bueller.
Well, if you're going to hit a short ball against the Archers, that's where you want to hit it. Try to get it in the middle and make Castaneda and Morris come a long way. 2-0, and those weren't even air balls. This is an ominous start here again for the Archers. They need to tighten up the defense. Jared Woodard won't miss. He's already had at least one perfect game that I know of at this World Series on Wednesday against the Comets.
We have Aaron C. up at home plate with Gerald Dicus on deck.
And Jerry Wendell says his first game that day was a 1 strikeout. Today against New Jersey.
Getting a base check. Just over the top of the outside edge of the bat.
Dicus, the other player in the starting lineup that was a part of all those dynasty teams.
Just over the top again. He's going to take a pass.
They routinely take a pitch after 2 strikes.
And it's a pop fly out into deep center as he runs for first. There, Kyle Boris scrambling for it. It's going to be a run for the Thunder.
3 in a
3-0.
row for the Thunder, who are no stranger to playing with their backs against the wall. It's a good start for Jared Woodard and his Thunder.
Gerald Dicus up.
That was Aaron C. I think I mistakenly said Gerald Dicus. Here's Dicus.
Gerald Dicus is up now.
He's up now. So 3 on the board. Here's the former league's fastest man. 5-time champion.
Pop up into mid-right as he runs for
Look at that
third.
speed.
Castaneda going to look for it, and that's going to be another run up. David Smith coming up behind Ricky to catch that, but not in time.
Too much speed, and he got the ball in the air. 4-0. Hot start for Jared.
Axel Cox up for the Thunder, transplant from the Jets.
How odd does that sound? Axel Cox with the Thunder, but there are 3 former San Antonio Jets players in this game. One on the Thunder side with Cox, and then, of course, Castaneda and David Smith.
for the Archers. Archers have a defensive timeout out in the field right now. They are huddled up while the Thunder patiently waits in this breezy afternoon we have here at the Slica Complex.
Well, that didn't take too long. They burned a defensive timeout and they haven't recorded an out yet. All three players we just mentioned that are former Jets players took second place with the Jets 4 straight years, twice to the Thunder and twice to the Edge, and 3 of those 4 years, those games came down to the last at-bat. You know they're all hungry for a championship, but they can't all get one.
Breeze is picking up. And a slamming grounder over into left pass. Mark stopping it and grabbing that up.
That's a good play, and that got on him quick. There's not very many shortstops that'll make that play as he smacked it. But Mark Morris, that's a good way to stop a run and a good answer after the defensive timeout. 1 out.
This is going to be Joel Tolby.
He is technically a rookie by NBBA standards because he has not participated in a World Series. Tolby's been around a few years, though. Got broke in with the Indy Edge. Joined the Thunder this year. He's got a lot of power. Not a ton of speed.
Ready for the pitch. We're having a time right now for that golf cart behind us.
Of course, the missing piece in this lineup is Kyle Lewis. Got injured in warm-ups yesterday. Wednesday, in fact. I don't expect to see him. And that makes a difference, but it's going to be up to Tolby to pick up the slack now in the starting lineup.
And getting a little tap on it, dropping straight down. Booker's going to grab that and toss that back up to Jared.
This is going to be similar. I think it's going to take 15 or so runs to really be comfortable about winning this game.
High pop up as he runs to third. It's dropping mid-center, and they're scrambling. They've got him out. That's another Mark Morris running over there to snag that up.
Boy, he covered a lot of ground, and much like he did in the first inning against the Fire when he had all 3 putouts, he's got both of them here in this inning. Jared isn't missing a beat on these bats, though. And now back to the top of the order.
Cody Jeffries just stepped off of home plate as he sets his feet.
Enormous crowd out here on both sides. This looks like a championship game crowd to me, no?
It's getting close.
Of course, you got the hometown Archers and then the renowned, popular champion, former champion, Indy Thunder.
Have the base check, and we're now ready for that pitch. It's going to go foul to the right.
All good, baby. Way to get out. Good, baby. You got this, Coach.
Bringing him back up to home plate. He only went a few steps. Ball's back to Jared.
Be a little quicker, Jaden. You're gonna get it.
Just starting to pick up some of that traffic noise. Just underneath the bat.
Let's see if he takes this one here.
He's resting the bat on his shoulder, so that looks to be the case as he turns his rear shoulder into the ball as it comes across the plate. And just underneath the bat.
Full count, or as they call it in Thunderland, money ball time for Jared.
Slow exhale by Cody. And a bouncing almost right up center, almost hitting Jared as he runs to first. David Smith going over there and scooping that up. David Smith, number 7 for the Archers, bringing the Archers in. But it's a 4-0 game, Thunder.
So they stopped the bleeding with that defensive timeout. After the first 4 scored, the next 3 were put out, 2 by Morris, and then the first put out we've seen today from David Smith. Archers coming up, still very early, but they're going to have to match the Thunder. What you cannot do is get off to a slow start and fall behind this team, because when they smell blood in the water, they'll just bury you. And they play fast. When they score, meaning the Thunder, they have that next player right up in the on-deck circle, up to the plate, ready to hit, and they can literally run teams out of games. Plus, they have the largest roster in the league.
So we have the outfield setting up. The Archers are going to start off with Mark Morris again. And it looks like we have Adam Rodenbeck, so he's going to be the defensive swing.
Do we have an Archer's batting order? Let's go over that, Rosina.
It's the same as what they just had. We have Mark Morris, Justin Holland, David Smith, Kyle Bora. We've got Ethan Johnston and Ricky Castaneda.
Oh, they've got Bora in the batting order for Crussell this game.
He's a defensive. Well, let's see. Oh no, Rich Crussell is batting. He's the hitter, and Kyle's fielder. Mark Morris.
Mark Morris everywhere. Go.
And it's going to be a little grounder into short left as Cody slides over in front of that for an out by Cody Jeffries.
They have been searching all year, the Thunder, for the right person to play that short left position. And it looks like now they've settled on Cody, and that was a good, solid play. One leadoff hitter and shortstop, retiring another. One out Thunder for the Thunder defense, and this is what Gateway can't do. They got to get the ball off the ground.
It's going to be Justin Holland. If anybody's going to get it off the ground, that would be him.
He can get it in orbit, can he? Just about.
Just barely off of the bat.
Holland, like Jeffries, former Chaos.
Just underneath the bat.
Holland actually broke in with the late Roger Keeney's team, the Athens Timberwolves.
It's going to be a fly out into right. Tolby running for that as he tackles first base. That's going to be a run up. First one on the board.
He went opposite field with that. And that might be the idea. The Thunder's strength is going to be on the left side. Zach Bueller is as good as any left fielder you're going to see in this sport.
Yeah, they got Joel Tolby and Aaron C. out there in the further right field, and we're going to have David Smith up to the plate. Mike Curtis coming into the pitcher's mound.
So I'm not saying Joel Tolby and Aaron C. are necessarily bad defenders, but they're not Zach Bueller out there in left. Or Axel Cox.
Just underneath the bat. David listening to instruction from Mike. And it's going to be a pop fly coming down short and left as he runs for third. Cody Jeffries coming up, but there's not enough time for that. David Smith taking out third base, then tripping back over it as he comes back in, but giving the Archers two. It's a 4-2 game, bottom of the first.
And 2 straight air balls, and they both scored. That's the game that's got to be played here by Mike Curtis and the Archer offense.
Rich Crussell up at the plate. Waiting patiently as Cody gets reset back out in the field. Jake getting the check from the field. Have a plane coming by overhead.
How about the BSO Philly Fire knocking off in succession the Bayou City Heat, the Indy Thunder, and the Gateway Archers? That is no joke.
Just over the top of the bat and right in the center. Just underneath the bat, split the difference. And bouncing grounder into center as he runs for first past Cody's arms. They're scrambling for it. He is going to be safe. That was a close one for Cody Jeffries, and Axel Cox backing him up, but closing that gap. It's now 4-3.
Axel needed to be more in his back pocket, I think, there. And here's the thing. There's a big difference between playing beat ball in Texas on that ground, which is what Axel's used to, where he's played in his entire career, and playing ball on this grass. In Texas, they're taught never to come up from the mid-level position because the fields run so fast. Here, you almost have to. That was one the Thunder defense needed to pick up.
Ethan Johnson. Scooping just underneath that ball.
Ethan, another one going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow evening.
Just same placement.
Deservedly so. Born Asubulu Truna in Ethiopia.
It's going to be the third strike.
Many people familiar with beat ball are familiar with his story.
And a pop-up over into mid-right just behind Adam Rodenbeck as he runs for a third, and Joel Tolby with that out.
Now that's what they need from Tolby without Kyle Lewis to play back there in the mid spot or the deep spot. That, in this case, it's the mid spot. They need somebody to be the answer in right field. Good play by Tolby. 2 outs, 4-3.
Ricky Castaneda.
Wouldn't you know? 2 outs in a 1-run game, and here comes Ricky. It seems like he's always in these spots.
And we have a base check.
Man, we got two Team USA athletes in this game, one on each side.
Just under the bat. Just over the top of the bat. He took a pass.
On your toes now, on your toes. Right field everywhere, on your toes now.
Just over the top of the inside corner of the bat.
We've gone as far as we can go here in this inning. 2 outs and a full count.
And he's not going to do it this time. That is a strikeout for Ricky Castaneda, bringing the Thunder in as we head to the top of the second at a 4-3 game for the Thunder. Bosma Enterprises, navigating blindness. Bosma Enterprises partners with socially responsible companies that have a focus on supplier diversity. We help them expand their sourcing options with high-quality goods and services. These partnerships create jobs for people with vision loss who would otherwise face a staggering 70% unemployment rate. Bosma Center for Visionary Solutions is located in Indianapolis and serves hundreds of clients each year all over the state of Indiana. Their experienced staff, more than half of whom are blind, offer personalized programs. Those initiatives help adults gain the life skills they need to remain independent. For more information, visit Bosma, BOSMA.org.
And quite a connection between Bosma and this Indy Thunder team, as several of them are affiliated with Bosma in some capacity. Bosma also helps sponsor the Indy Beat Ball Bonanza, which the Thunder host the first weekend of June.
So we do have archers doing their sound off as they are set in the field and ready to go. And Zach Bueller at the plate for the Thunder with a bright pink streaming headband.
So not a bad first inning for either team. 4-3 as we start the second.
Catching the edge of that and slamming it out deep into right as he runs for first, and there it's gone. Zach Bueller for the first run of the second inning.
Yeah, it was a shot opposite field with power.
That was a cannon shot, bringing Aaron C. up to the plate. Zach running back between Jared and Aaron as he heads back to his bench on the third base side. Have a base check on first and third, and Aaron exhale and at the ready. Just catching the edge of that.
AC, of course, a member of the Indy Edge his entire career until this year. Came to the Thunder as part of their rebuild, which now is over.
Again, repeat, pop fly out into deep left as he runs for first. Ricky running back for it. Ethan Johnson he tumbles over first base, and that's another run up for the Thunder. A 6-3 game at top of the second.
And both of those balls were banged opposite field. And if they can do that, they're going to be tough to beat.
Gerald Dykes, speed demon there, up at the plate.
Good hit, AC. Good hit. Good hit back, baby. Good hit.
Aaron coming back up behind the batter.
Well, Jared came to pitch today.
No, I'm being serious. I didn't hear what he said. Okay.
Have that base check.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
Dykes 1 for 1.
And a nice pop fly
About
out
to be
into
2
deep
for
left
2.
as he runs for first. Justin Holland scrambling for it, missing it. Gerald Dykes, of course, has already been there a long time ago.
Look at this, 3 straight runs, and I think they did it on 4 pitches. Vintage Jared Woodard right now, nuts on top of their bats. And they got those 3 runs back in a hurry.
Axel Cox waiting patiently for that ball to make its very long journey back up. Have a base check.
I want to say the highest scoring team so far at this series in a single game was like 21.
Bouncing grounder to the left. Mark Morris going over there as he runs to third. Mark just picking that up as he lays down with that. That's going to be an out for Mark Morris.
So that's the one thing that's been consistent today for the Archers is if you hit the ball anywhere near Mark Morris, you're out. That's his 3rd putout already at this game. I had him with at least 9. As Missy says 10, I'm going to go with our scorekeeper on that.
Joel Tolvey at the plate.
In the Fire game.
Breeze picking up a little bit. We have full cloud coverage now.
Just another day, baby. Just another day.
Joel leaning slightly over home plate. Stretching his back as we still get a wait on this airplane, and Jared talking to our ump, Jaden.
All right, here we go. Bases, please. Thank you.
We have our base check, and Joel is ready for the pitch.
Here we go. Good. All right, here we go.
And just going underneath the bat. And bouncing grounder right up the center as he runs for third. Mark running over to grab that up, and of course he does. Another out for Mark Morris as he runs to center.
So 5 putouts in the game for the Archers, 4 of them by Morris and 1 by Smith. But now the bad news is we're back to the top.
Cody Jeffries at the plate.
He's 1 for 2.
Field is ready. We're going to get a field check.
He scored in the first and was put out in to end the first. 12 batters in so far, no strikeouts for Jared. That's not surprising. He's been at or above 90% contact for the last several years. No other pitcher in the league does that.
Gonna be a short pop-up foul on the right. Bat back up, touching home plate as he realigns. Quick little shimmy of the feet as he adjusts. And ball a little bit low, several inches under the bat. Gonna take a pass here. And it's going to go foul on the right about at the first base.
All over it, baby. Next one. All over it.
That's not bad timing, and that's not an accident. Jared, I think, thinks he's found something over in right. They've scored a couple times over there. He is one of the few humans on this planet who can get a blindfolded batter to basically hit it wherever he wants him to. That time they just missed.
Here we go. 31.
And it's going to be a pop fly out into center as he runs to third. Ethan Johnson headed over there, but he's already on it. 8-3 now at the top of the second as the Thunder inch away.
Ethan, a great defender, and he has been for a very long time. Made that closer than it probably should have been, but with that kind of speed and that kind of air, it's almost impossible. And they are just relentless right now.
Smashing it out in that backfield. Got to keep it away from Mark. And as long as you've got the power to get it over their heads, they're going to get that done. Zach Bueller at the plate. Jaden bringing the ball back up to Jared. Wearing his full baseball helmet.
These teams were the number 1 and number 2 seeds coming into this tournament. Philly Fire have beat them both. One of them's going to get a crack at them tomorrow. Who's it going to be?
Thank you. Here we go.
Just underneath the bat. Catching the edge of it at line drive, almost taking out Jared as it goes up the center. David Smith laying down to grab that, and another out for David Smith.
David Smith's fighting for the first championship of his career, and you can tell, I mean, he wants it so bad. He came oh so close a couple of years in a row. He's playing well. That's his second put out already back there.
Have a conferring of our umps out in the field as the Archers head in.
They're checking on a double call. Obviously, that wasn't a close play, but checking to see if there was a double call. I don't think that they're going to get that.
We do not have the Thunder are not going to head out until they have verification on that.
That's a 5-run inning to back up the 4-run inning they had in the first. Top of the order for the Archers, bottom of the second, 9-3. The pressure is all on the Archers because there's no signs of the end for Jared and his offense. It is 8.
8-3.
It is 8.
They're going to say he is out. So Archers have already made their way in to take their place at bat. And the Thunder is going to have to make their way out onto the field.
I took math class, folks, and so Yeah, that's why I'm a lawyer. But look, part of it is also, and we depend on our scorekeepers for a lot, and we try to keep our own score, but we're not using a scoreboard over here, folks. We can't just look up at some board and tell you what the score is. So, but it is 8-3.
Thunder making their way out onto the field. Axel being the last one making it out onto now. He's going to have to hurry it up a little. It's trotting out there into the field.
So that's 4 in each inning by the by the Thunder, very consistent.
Sound out from the Thunder.
Archers were able to respond in the first. Let's see what their response is like in the second. Morris, Holland, Smith due up.
Thank you. Hey, Mark, here, follow the order. Everywhere now.
And he hit Mike as it went line drive down the center.
Hey, also communicate, guys. Communicate.
Mark back setting up at home plate.
Here we go.
Pop up short left as he runs to first. Cody Jeffries coming up on top of that. He's already at the base. That's going to be a run for the Archers as they close that to only a halfway lead, 8-4.
Mark and Cody seem to keep targeting each other there and then getting into foot races. That's a good hit for Mark and a good start to the bottom of the second for the Gateway Archers.
Justin Holland.
That's 1 for 2 now for Mark. He scored on Cody once and been put out by Cody once.
Just underneath Justin's bat. Just underneath again.
You don't want to be under his bat. You don't want a grounder. You want to be over if you're going to miss.
Just ticking it and it dropping straight down. And a line drive into the center to Axel Cox going past him as he runs for first. Zach Bueller headed over there, but that's going to be a run for Justin Holland and the Archers. 8-5, bottom of the second.
Nobody out. Here they come again.
It's going to be David Smith with that out that brought the Archers in, up at the plate. Zach heading back over to his position in deep left. Archers need to keep closing that gap.
They can score with this team as long as they can put the ball in play. You can't give away outs.
Just over the top of the outside edge of the bat.
So far, 1 strikeout in the game, and that was Ricky Castaneda to end the first.
And a line drive out into left as he runs for first. Zach Bueller bounced off his face. Oh, we're going to have to see on that. I have no clue.
What a play by Bueller. What's the story? Both teams think they've won the day.
I have no clue on that one. We're going to be Jaden's going to be conferring. He's headed out to the field ump. I've already checked first base. He's rounded that one quickly. He's on his way to Mike Woodard at third. He is out
I was hoping
that
they
would
would
have
give. That was an excellent play.
by Zach Bueller.
Dave, you know we do actually have umpires on the bases in this game.
Yes. Jerry Wendell giving us some information. We do have NBBA certified umpires all over the field here.
Jordan's on first and Mike's on third.
So Mike Woodard on third and Jordan Simpson on first. Had the edge won today. Had this been the edge in the Archers, Mike Woodard was ready to get the plate umpire assignment, but he is related, of course, to Jared Woodard, and so he defers Thunder games.
Getting in check on another ball here. Tossed in to Mike Curtis. Holding that up for the field. Rich Crussell at the plate.
Thank you. Russell, guys. Everywhere now.
And it's going to be a grounder over the left. Past Cody to Zach as he runs for first. And Zach Bueller, easy, grabbing that up.
How about that in the deep left position? Zach Bueller, the best in the business over there. 2 straight putouts.
Bam, bam, out, out, Zach Bueller. It looks like we've had a substitution. We've got Chad Dillon in batting.
We have a sub.
So he's the lefty stick
For 21.
for Gateway. Where's number 5? He was a Gateway Archer original.
Looks like he is in for Ethan Johnston.
He, along with Kyle Bora, were a couple of the 2 Archer originals, and then they built their team around him. Jason Frazier built this program with Mike Curtis and Orlando Gonzalez in much the same way the Thunder built theirs.
And it's going to be a grounder to left. Adam Rodenbeck just passed his hands as he runs to first. Joel's trying to come up to help him, but that's going to be a run for Chad Dillon and the Archers. That is now an 8-6 game, only trailing by 2. You can hear the cheers from the Archers.
Balls over here.
That'll fire them up. And that was probably a good coaching move. I actually thought that they might pull that trigger earlier today against Philly to get a lefty in there. They did it now and it worked.
It's going to bring Ricky Castaneda up to the plate as the outfield readjusts back over.
Well, 2 outs again, and so here's Castaneda again.
Get that out of here.
I have some more balls coming up.
Well, we're doing that very quickly, and then I'm going to have to step away for a second, but very quickly want to recognize our NBBA Executive Committee. Treasurer John Lykowski, he's been the treasurer as long as I've been around. Secretary Steve Guerra, Second Vice President Richie Flores, First Vice President, Tournament Director Cassie Hopkins, President Jerry Wendell.
It's going to be just under the swing for Ricky Castaneda. And it's coming off the inside as it goes pop up into left past Cody, and that's going to be safe. They said Zach just narrowly missing that, so Ricky getting up on the board.
That's a huge run, and he just flipped the lineup. Ricky Castaneda coming up aces again. The Texan. Castaneda, the Team USA blind soccer player.
It's going to have Mark Morris up as Cody repositions back in.
We have world-class blind athletes in this game. It is unbelievable, the level of competition once you get late in this World Series.
And it's going to be a pop-up short to the right. Adam Rodenbeck head forwards. He runs to first. Adam grabbing that, and he has it.
41 short.
Rolling over, holding it as he turns on his shoulder. Adam Rodenbeck for the out, bringing the Thunder in. This is an 8-7 game. Thunder leading as we head to the top of the third.
Punch, counter punch. 4 runs for the Archers, 4 runs for the Thunder in that inning. We are 2 innings in, and basically nothing's been decided, Rosina.
Hey Philly, are you hungry? S&J's Catering LLC is a premier catering business founded and led in 2017 by a blind entrepreneur whose vision transcends sight. S&J's Catering LLC exemplifies resilience, creativity, and dedication. Renowned for its exceptional culinary artistry and impeccable service to the Philadelphia area. They specialize in a diverse range of cuisines to bring a gourmet dining experience to any event, whether it's an intimate gathering or a corporate function. Hey Philly, are you hungry? Call 215-284-7485. Archers have taken the field, finishing setting up, and we're going to have Aaron C. up at the plate for the Thunder. Field ump heading back out to take his position, as well as Jordan at first base. Mike coming in over for third. I do have another ball rogue going off at the scorekeeper's table, as you have the sound off and growls coming from the Archers out on the field. We're gonna have to hold. Ball seems to be under control. Again, Aaron C. for the Thunder with a deep exhale. And a high pop fly into mid-left as he runs at Mark Morris. Gonna gobble that up. That's an out for Mark Morris. Gonna have a new change in a ball here. Gerald Dicus up for the Thunder. Waiting for that new ball to come into play. Ball over to Jared as Gerald nods his head. The field is set, and we're going to get a base check. First and third. Just catching the edge of that, and it's going to be foul on the right. Jared picking that ball up as Gerald waits for the bat to come back around for the right side of home plate. And it's going to be a pop-up into center. David Smith trying to stop it with his hands. And he's going to be safe. Kyle Bora bounced off his hands. David Smith trying to get it, but not in time. Gerald Dicus with a run.
Thunder Joes won't seem to stop scoring here, will they, Rosina?
It's a 9-7 game. Thunder with Axel Cox up at a plate for the Thunder. Field is set. Axel stepping back off a home plate and ready for the pitch. Just past the edge of the bat. Catching the edge of that bat, it's going to be foul on the right. Jaden picking that off. Jared tapping home plate just a hair there to get it into proper position. Took a pass.
Now Axel settling in.
And popping up right behind him into Booker's mitt.
He's right there. That's a fraction of an inch from going out into the back row somewhere.
And a bouncing grounder to left to Mark Morris as he runs for third. Mark coming up on it, just laying down and gently scooping it up. An easy 12 to 15 feet before he hits third. Mark Morris for the out, bringing Joel Talvey up for the Thunder.
The dreaded double thunk, ball hitting bottom of bat and ball hitting ground. And on these fields, that means against this level of competition, that's going to be an out almost every time. But other than that, you've noticed Jared's either hitting the top of the bat or when he is missing, he's missing over.
Field is finishing setting.
Faces, please. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
And a good pop-up, short left. It's going to be foul.
Welcome back, Joel. Spumoni, baby, Spumoni.
Morris breaking for that coffin corner.
Joel coming back up to home plate at a leisurely pace. There's no need to hurry. He wants to maintain some of his energy to repeat. Although I'm sure the Archers would prefer he hurried.
They go into the hurry up when they score runs.
And a power pop up into deep center as he runs for first. Kyle Bora. He is gonna. That is gonna be an out for Kyle Bora.
Even when you crush one on these fields against teams like the Archers, you still got to have a decent amount of speed.
So that's going to bring the Archers in, and the Thunder's going to head out into a field.
There's Justin, right?
And just to thank you, we've had an amazing World Series out here this year. So just to recognize a few of those items, and talk about some of the food that we have had here this week, DB. We have had Emo's Pizza. We've had lemonade from Raising Cane's, as well as chicken later. We've had Tucanos Brazilian Grill, having up those dinners for the first home run, as well as the offensive and defensive MVP from the Wool game. And later on tomorrow night, Schlafly's Beer will have some at the awards reception. So thank you again to those sponsors as the Thunder takes the field.
It's been great. The whole week has been great, and that inning for the Archers defense was great. They only give up one.
Sound off out there. They're rocking and rearing to go as Justin Holland takes the plate for the Archers.
It's tightened up here considerably. Thank you.
Getting a base check.
Thank you. Here we go. Everywhere now.
Just popping off, and Cesar grabbing that in his mitt. Going to be a pop-up, but let's see if it's going to be fair. It's dropping left right behind Cody as he's already almost at first, and that's going to be a run for Justin. That just was in the air forever, dropped right behind Cody. By the time he had turned around, Justin was at the base.
And he made a beeline, good base run there to first base for Holland too. That was a no-doubter. Look at this. We got a one-run ball game.
David Smith up at the plate, and they only need to gain one more to tie it up.
Thank you. Thank you. Go. Quiet, please. Go.
And just underneath the center of the bat. Just over the top of the bat. I gotta have a time for that loud plane up in the air.
D. Smith already with a couple putouts in this game in his mid-right position.
rotating the shoulder as he waits patiently at home plate. Trying to stay loose and limber. Ready for a powerhouse knockout.
Everywhere now. Here we go.
And it's going to be a grounder right past Cody as he runs to first. Cody scrambling to go back to it. And Axel Cox coming to back him up. Axel Cox with that out.
One former Jet puts out another, man. Brethren on opposite sides of the field, and Smith grounds one to Cox. Big out number one to preserve a one-run lead for the Thunder.
Rich Kressel up at plate. A little bit like the Civil War there. Brother against brother. Or in this case, brother against brothers, since there are two on the Archers. Just underneath the center of his bat. It's going to be a pop-up short out mid, out into right as he runs for third. Adam scrambling for that. He is out.
Oh, what a
That's
play.
Out for Adam Rodenbeck, just narrowly missing out Rich Kressel.
Adam still, after all these years, is still solid. Wherever they put him on the field, he can play anywhere.
Rolling the ball up to Mike Curtis.
He was a big role player. Part of the Indy Thunder's 5 championships was Adam Rodenbeck.
He had to scramble all the way to behind first base to pull that one up. And this is going to have lefty Chad Dillon at the plate.
Adam won. Oh!
Oh, they've reversed that and said he was safe. So that's going to make it a tie game, 9-9.
Well, they reversed the call. And that's a tie game, and that's a close one. That's tough. But they did what they were supposed to do. They conferred on it, and somebody other than the home plate ump had a better angle. That's a tough call there. Tie game. Still only one out. Dillon came in to pinch hit for Ethan Johnston and scored.
Just underneath the outer edge of the bat.
Lefty pull hitter Rodenbeck out there, and maybe Tolby too need to be ready again.
And a grounder over into left. Adam running forward. It's past him as he runs to first. Joel Todd. Aaron C.
Or Aaron C.
Aaron
That'll do.
C. It's going to have Ricky Castaneda up to the plate. That
With
was
how many outs?
2.
What do you know?
That's-
Ricky again with 2 outs.
That's kind of his signature spot, it seems to be. Last time he didn't quite get the job done. Let's see if he gets it done here.
If he does, he will give the Archers the lead for the first time in the game.
Playing overhead, very low, almost right above us. Waiting for that. It's about a little over halfway over. First and third.
Again, there hasn't been as many planes this afternoon as it seemed like there was this morning.
It's going to be out to right again behind Adam Rodenbeck. Joel running for it. He's got it. Joel Tolby scooping that up before Ricky hits third.
They're all making plays over there. Joel makes another one. Aaron made a big one over there. Adam had a close play over there. The Archers are starting to go to right, and the Thunder answered the bell halfway through, and it would appear we have a tie ball game.
9-9 as the Thunder comes in for their at-bat. Have you ever struggled to get a job? Forget that job. What about getting an interview? If you haven't heard of the Getting Hired playbook, that's how blind people like you are getting job interviews left and right, and even better, getting jobs from companies they want to work for. The next GHP training starts in August, so go to accessabilityofficer.com and click on vocational rehabilitation. That is accessabilityofficer.com. sportsofficer.com.
Top of the fourth and top of the order due up for the Thunder in a 9-9 tie. These two teams are in a dogfight. One of them will advance to the championship game tomorrow opposite the Philly Fire.
Whichever team does make it tomorrow, they will have to beat the Philly Fire twice. Archers are almost set in the field, and this is going to have number 1 Cody Jeffries in at the plate. And it looks like we're going to have a substitution. Number 8, Chris Dunlavy. I did not for 2. So that is going to be for Joel Talby.
So they're going to get Dunleavy in for Talby. Talby was productive, though, in the playing time he got as a technical rookie here at this World Series.
Getting a sound off out in the field.
Speaking of rookies, how about this? Noah Finney of the Bayou City Heat hit his second home run of the series in that game against the Titans. So 2 for Finney and 4 for Bayou City this week.
I heard that too. I told you he was a slugger. I told you that very first day that he reminded me of Justin Holland's early years.
And he becomes one of only a handful of players in history, including Justin Holland, to hit 2 in a series.
Just catching the top of that as it nicks down to the plate.
And I have to check, but I don't believe any pitcher has pitched more than 4 home runs in a World Series, in a single World Series, to his team. And that's what Fonzie's done.
Here. I'll say that seems like Fonzie might be the lead on that then.
I know of 3 in a series before by the same team, by the same player. David Smith did it last year.
Pop fly out into center right as he runs for third. He's running, and that is gone. That's a run for the Thunder as they take the lead, breaking that tie and hitting double digits. Zach Bueller at the plate.
Well, that didn't take long. The Thunder promptly untie it. This thing's going to be like this all day.
Ball is still rolling up. Jared now has possession of that.
Bueller, he made a couple big defensive plays too in this game already. Bueller's made a couple. Talby's made a couple. Sia's had one. Cody Jeffries got Mark Morris once.
Zach casually.
Axel Cox put out David Smith once, so they're getting production from all over the field.
Over. Ready for that pitch as we have the base check. Gonna be a pop-up out into right as he runs to with our bouncing off of Chad. And he's gonna be safe. Widening that lead back up to 2 with Aaron C. at the plate.
He got himself into position, but Bueller's so quick, you really, unless you're completely clean with it, odds are you're going to lose that race.
Ricky coming back up after heading back to back up Chad Dillon into place. Aaron C. talking a little bit with Jared there before Jared turned around and headed back to the pitcher's mound. Field is good.
Thank you. Here we go.
Bringing the bat up over the shoulder. And just underneath the bat. Bouncing grounder into center. Oh, he's gone all the way around Jared as he turns to head back to Mark Morris with the easy out. He had taken at least a good 5 steps towards third, had to go around Jared and turn to head back to first, and that was going to be a Mark Morris. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that play wasn't going to work for him anyway, so there's 1 out after 2 in. Now, Dykes, who all of a sudden looks like he's caught fire. Dykes, by his own admission, was struggling the first couple of days of this tournament. He's turned it around here today. as you would expect from the 4-time All-Star, and he just started playing in 2016.
Gerald with one batting glove and one bare hand up on ready on his bat. And it's going to be a pop-up over into right behind Castaneda as he runs to first. He's already there before it barely hits the ground. That's another run for the Thunder and speedy Gerald Dicus.
This isn't an accident. Jared is targeting right field. They brought Dylan in for his lefty stick and for offense, but he's no Ethan Johnston out there defensively. Again, that's not to say he's bad, but Ethan Johnston's a Hall of Famer. Well, he's about to be in about 26 hours.
Axel Cox up at the plate as Gerald gets a hand clap there by Coach Booker as he comes back across to his bench. Mark Morris asking his spotter out in the field a quick question. Moving into place. Just underneath the outside edge of the bat as that rolls up under the scorekeeper's table. Booker checking the ball, is wiping it off as it came back in from Jared. Tossed back to Jared.
Axel Cox won 2 world championships with the Austin Blackhawks before helping to form the Jets. He was one of the charter members of that team.
Just coming off the edge of his bat, rolling up and popping about 8 feet up. Taking a pass. It's going to be foul at the plate.
Full count now. Jared doesn't have a strikeout yet in this game, I do not believe. And Missy confirms that.
It's got a bouncing grounder up the center just past Jared as he runs towards third, and Ricky Castaneda, I'm not sure if that is going to be an out by Ricky Castaneda.
Hey, that was a good job of Castaneda communicating and calling Mark Morris off. What did we talk about last game? When there's a short ball up the middle,
Jaden, we have a sub.
you got 2 fast, short players. One of them's got to take charge and call that off. Good job by Ricky.
And this is Chris Dunlavy up at the plate for the first time for the Thunder this game.
He entered the game in the 6th spot in place of Joel Tolby, who was productive.
Rocking back on from heel to toe there as he waits at home plate.
So now it's Dunleavy with 2 outs in the inning and a chance to turn the lineup. Dunleavy also a part of the Thunder rebuild. He was with the Indy Edge for several years. Came over a couple years ago.
Again, rocking heel to toe and ready for the pitch. We had a time call just as they were getting ready for the pitch.
The umpire granted it. That was a last-second timeout that was granted at Plain.
That was Mark Morris who called for that. Just as that plane came over at the beginning of the pitch.
He's lucky he got that timeout in before Jared threw the pitch. He'd already started his delivery.
It's going to be a grounder right over to Mark Morris on the left as he runs to third. Mark laying down, just easily picking it up. About time he hit the halfway mark. So that's another out credited for Mark Morris.
Well, that worked out fine for Mark, and that's a 3-run inning. It looked for a minute there like it might be worse than that. But the Garchers defense tightens up again. Still no strikeouts in the game at all for the Thunder as we go to the bottom of the 4th. In a 12-9 game, Thunder lead, Archers coming up. Now they will have the top of their lineup.
Thunder finishing setting up. Adam still making his way out into short right as you see a little bit of convergence of the Archers at their bench. Mark Morris standing in the batter's box waiting before he heads out to home plate. Thank you to all the volunteers who helped make this game possible, hauling water, balls, bases, scorekeepers, base runners, and those base runners and scorekeepers, as well as the volunteers moving them. Thank you very much for assisting, in which this game would not be possible without your help. Mark Morris is at the plate now as Mike, the pitcher, is he's just patient. Okay, he's just talking with the spotters there. Booker coming back in from the field.
Wait for Jaden.
You know, the Thunder make a lot of noise out there on defense when they're setting up, and sometimes you might think that they're just goofing off, but there is a method to that madness. Remember, you've got 6 players, none of them can see one another, so they're communicating audibly. When they do their cat calls and their little, these little warbles and noises, what they're really doing is saying, here's where I am, where are you?
Jaden is talking with Mike right now, the pitcher for the Archers, on the sidelines at the first base.
We're having a conversation about something here.
I'm not sure. We have 2 spotters as well as Mike, all speaking with Jaden on the first base line. Jaden picking up the ball. We're going to have a time. We're going over a rule book.
What do we have now? This inning hasn't even begun yet.
They're going to bring the Thunder
And we're going to bring
in.
the Thunder in, and we'll hopefully maybe get an explanation as to why a game with such a nice pace is suddenly being slowed down for a rules check.
But as that Thunder heads in off of the beautiful field at Slice Soccer Complex, a great big thank you to our sponsors that helped secure it, Bill Jones and Sue Slocum and Richard Mark, all longtime Mind's Eye donors, as well as Ameren, Illinois, the power company for the surrounding area. Thank you for all those food donations from Emo's, Tucanos Brazilian Grill, Raising Cane's, and later Schlafly's Beer.
Well, there's a lot of activity now going on in front of us at the scorer's table as they're going to consult about anything. Unfortunately, they can't include the rules committee chair because he's Adam Rodenbeck, who's playing for the Thunder in this game.
So we have Jaden is looking up in the rule book, Jason Price looking up over his lap, Jerry Wendell looking on, Mike Woodard.
So you got the league president, you got a couple board members, the umpire-in-chief of the league, and then the home plate umpire for this game.
Talking about locking in our DH and DF, I believe. Not sure what this is in regards to. About moving maybe location on the field, possibly. Because it looks like Aaron C. has been moved over from right over to center. So I'm not sure who they were putting where he was.
Well, I could guess Dunleavy.
I was saying they probably put Chris over there, and they're saying he can't go there. That's what I'm guessing.
All right, so they're going to pull their DH, and their DF is going to field and hit.
So the designated fielder is going to be permanent.
So now the DH can no longer be reinstated.
For which team?
So the player can come back, and he can't come back.
Yeah, that would be after 6 hours. You can't come in until after 6 hours.
Right, yeah.
So the position's
So
never coming
the DH is getting subbed out. So the DH position is done for the
Right, they
game.
can't leave.
Right, but that player can still come back
After 6 hours. Yeah.
All right, so the Archers, it appears, are going to drop their designated hitter, or their designated fielder and
which is
designated
Kyle
hitter.
Bora and
So
Rich
Richie's
Crussell.
everything now?
Kyle Bora
Kyle Bora is going to be everything.
I see.
Rich has been struggling, so Kyle Bora will now be fielding and hitting.
All right, so here's the deal. Kyle Bora was Richie Crusso's flex, correct?
Correct.
And so they want to put Bora in the lineup. The only way they can do that is to destroy their DH option and put him in that spot. And that's what they've done.
And in 3, Zion is coming in for Chad Dillon.
That's interesting. So Zion
that's what I
Prince.
believe. Cool. Mark Morris is up at bat for the Archers.
One thing they're supposed to be doing is announcing these substitutions out loud to the field. That is a rule, and I've seen that hasn't been happening. John Lykowski was doing it at a game I saw.
Okay.
Are you guys announcing substitutions to the field like the rules say?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's about to do it.
He's getting
Good.
ready to go do it now.
because that helps us broadcasters as well too.
Usually he doesn't until like the chicken.
Until they're coming up.
So after we saw a couple Archer games where they didn't use any substitutions at all, now you're seeing here late in the week, when all the chips are down, they're starting to use their bench.
Gonna be foul, dropping straight down.
So this is Mark Morris to reset. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 12-9 Thunder, Archers at the bat.
Pop line drive in the center as he runs to first, and he's going to be safe. I had Mike Curtis in between us. Wasn't quite sure who was going to grab that, but he is safe. Mark Morris.
Popped it up and ran like the wind blows. Right in the middle of the Thunder defense, and now it's 12-10.
Justin Holland up for the Archers.
Back and forth we go. The Archers have never led in this game, but they did draw even after 3. The Thunder put up 3 in the top of the 4th.
Archers now in those same double digits that the Thunder is.
And that's saying something. We've seen games that have gone 6 innings between good teams and not
Hit
had double
digits.
digits. Absolutely, Rosina.
Just over the top of that as he stumbles back a step after the swing. Gonna wait for this plane now overhead. At least it is not horridly hot for them out there standing and waiting. Still plenty warm, but not a killer.
Pre-game ceremonies for the championship game get going around 9 o'clock, and the game should start on or about 9:30. That is Central Time. Adjust accordingly. It's a little bit of an early start, but they like to do that because in a double elimination tournament, they may have to play an if necessary game. It doesn't happen often. The last time we've had 2 championship games on Saturday was in 2018 in Wisconsin.
Again, this is Justin Holland for the Archers. Pop up high and mid to deep as he
Just
runs
landed.
to third past Axel Cox. And he is safe. Now it's only a 1-run lead for the Thunder.
2 balls in the air, and that was in the air a while, and the defense in this sport is helpless while the ball's hanging in the air. They can't do anything till it comes down.
Zach running over there to back up Axel, but there was not even time to get to that. David Smith at the plate as Justin Holland runs around behind him, headed back to the bench.
So they've gotten 2 of those 3 runs already back, nobody out. Archers do have the hammer in this game. They have the last at bats. And they've done a good job of keeping pace with the Thunder here after it looked like the Thunder was going to build a lead early.
Gonna adjust third with Mike Woodard. Reaching his hand in there to move that back around to the speaker area on the base. And it's going to be a line drive to the center left pass. Oh, went under Axel's arms as he runs to first, but Axel recovered, and that is out. Axel Cox.
Axel Cox with the second effort. I thought that play was over, and then Cox went back and picked it up.
He was starting to lay down, and it just went under that little pocket under his underarm. He rolled over and snagged it up as Kyle Bora comes to the plate.
So for the second time today, Axel Cox robs his former teammate of a hit. 1 out, still a 1-run lead for the Thunder.
Did you already announce this stuff? Okay.
So now Kyle Bora, we haven't seen him bat at all yet.
He's been playing some defense out there, but now he is in permanently, at least out of the swing of fielder.
Kyle was another one of those Archer originals that they built around, along with Chad Dillon.
Just over the top of the bat.
Right here, guys. Right here. Good swing. Good swing.
And catching it on the inside is going to be a grounder to the left. Cody rolling over there to grab it, and that's going to be an out. Cody Jeffries
Thank you.
holding
service.
the Archers.
Room service on that one. 2 outs now. Thunder still clinging to the lead.
Just
And-
by 1 Archers. This is going to be Zion Prince up to bat for the Archers. His first at bat.
Second-year player. This is certainly the biggest at-bat of his young career. Let's see what he does with the opportunity. He's got a lot of speed, but he is very raw.
Just above and on the inside of the bat. Gonna have a time as we wait for the noise of the a little bit more distant plane.
(12-11), bottom of the 4th. Castaneda looming on deck. The youngster Zion Prince getting an opportunity in a game that could not be bigger for both teams. For somebody, there is no tomorrow. And these teams have been working out, practicing, even during the winter months, because they both have access to indoor facilities.
Ready for the pitch. Just over the bat.
Both teams traveled to Las Vegas. The Archers went to Oklahoma. Both teams played in the Indy tournament. Both teams played in Bolingbrook.
Just under the bat.
The Archers won all of those except for Bolingbrook when the Indy Thunder rallied to walk them off in the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Lewis won it.
Just over the top of the bat for a strike. And that's going to end that
That's it.
inning. 12-11 as we head for the top of the 5th with the Thunder up at bat.
So the Thunder once again cling to the lead. It was tied after 3. Thunder by 1 after 4. Who's going to blink first? So far, nobody really.
Bosma Enterprises, navigating blindness. Bosma Enterprises partners with socially responsible companies that have a focus on supplier diversity. These partnerships create jobs for people with vision loss who would otherwise face a staggering 70% unemployment rate. Bosma Center for Visionary Solutions is located in Indianapolis and serves hundreds of clients each year all over the state of Indiana. Their experienced staff, more than half of whom are blind, offer personalized programs, and these initiatives help adults gain the life skills they need to remain independent and job skills to stay self-sufficient. For more information, visit bosma.org.
We appreciate all of our sponsors and donors. We could not do it without you. Visit www.nbba.org, www.nbba.org, to find out all about the National Beat Baseball Association, the sport of beat baseball, or to make a donation. The NBBA is a registered 501c3, not-for-profit. Donations are tax deductible. Top of the 5th, Rosina.
Archers are almost set in the field. And let's see, we have got David Smith has been moved over to where Joel Tolby was, and Zion is going to be where David Smith was. Let's Zion is number 3.
I'm seeing the top of the lineup here due up again
This
for the
is
Thunder.
Cody Jeffries.
And that's the part of the lineup that's made a lot of the noise here. Jeffries, Bueller, and definitely Gerald Dykes. Some contributions from Aaron C. as well.
Cody winding that bat up before bringing it up to his shoulder. Just underneath the bat. Jared back in possession of the ball.
Who is going to be the game changer here in the last 2 innings of this game? Will it be a big defensive play? Will it be a big hit? Will it be a mistake?
And it's going to be in line drive to left past Mark as he runs speedily to third. And that's going to be a run up for the Thunder, pulling back away.
And that's why he's the Thunder leadoff. When they rebuilt the team, he came over and took the place of what Eric Rodriguez used to be, at least on offense. Now he's playing his position as well. Opens up another 2-run lead now for the Thunder. Still nobody out.
Zach Bueller at the plate. Pop that in right behind Mark Morris for an easy run. JB talking to Jared, the pitcher, as he waits for field is clear. First and third, sounding loud and clear. Just catching the edge of the bat and rolling just to the right of the scorekeeper's table next to Cam.
Right on that. He was a hair away from sending that thing into orbit also.
And a pop fly into deep center as he runs for first past Kyle Bora. There's no stopping him. That's a run as he does a little dance past first base and hops up and down on his way back in.
5-3.
That was crushed.
Keep it going.
Unbelievable.
5-3. Nice even
Power
swing, hit it hard.
there. He knew what he had.
And that kind of strength is also why he is one of the top goal ball players, which is another adaptive sport for the blind and visually impaired. He's one of the top in the world. They could only take 6 to Paris, and they picked 2 alternates. He was selected as one of the alternates. I will reserve my opinion on that, but it wasn't my decision. But it benefited the Thunder in that they got their stud left fielder available for this World Series. Had he been selected to go to Paris, he would not be here. And I dare say perhaps the Thunder may not be either.
Have Aaron C. up at the plate as we get a base check on first and third. Rotating that bat back up as he listens for the ball. Just underneath the bat.
14-11, still nobody out. Now the pressure starting to build again on Gateway.
And a bouncing grounder over to reach just past Ricky Castaneda as he runs for first. Ricky rolling over it, holding it up. That's going to be an out for Ricky Castaneda.
That's a play that's got to be made, and he made it. Good job by Ricky. He knows how to position and use his body. He's a world-class athlete, too, as we've been mentioning. His primary sport is blind soccer, but he ain't a bad beat baseball player either, let me tell you.
Not bad at all. Gerald Dykes at the plate as Aaron C. makes his way back to his bench around behind the scorekeeper's table.
So that's one enormous out. They're all massive now. As we get into the later stages of this game, somebody will be finishing third in this tournament. Somebody will move on for a shot to win it all tomorrow. Philly Fire are resting comfortably, waiting to see who they're going to play.
And a little on the outside there.
The Indy Thunder want to keep the streak alive of Indy teams participating in a championship game. They're at 7 straight. Last time a non-Indy championship game happened was in 2015 when the Blackhawks beat Taiwan.
And it's going to be a pop-up going foul on the right.
You wanted that one.
Think about that. 2015 was the last time there was a championship game at the World Series that did not involve an Indiana team. Just think, where were you in 2015? We were in Rochester, New York.
Like that was my pre-beatball days. taking a pass as he listens to the ball come across.
And it was for a lot of the new players. A lot of the players, if you haven't been in the league more than 10 years, all you've basically seen is Thunder and or Edge dominate.
It's going to be a pop-up over into far right as he runs to third. Well-placed. David Smith struggling to slide behind it, but of course, Gerald Dykes, speed demon that he is, already recovering and getting up from hitting third.
3 out of 4 on the board here. Here come the Thunder again.
You can hear the thunder roll. Axel Cox up to the plate as the ball comes making its way, rolling up to Jared. And again, this is a game where the pitcher is on the batter's team trying to place that ball just so, and Jared is the best at what he does.
And I'm going to check again with Missy on our strikeout total. I don't believe Jared has one yet. 0 for Jared Woodard.
Standing patiently as Ricky Castaneda makes his way back up into short right.
Yep, I was about to say they're about to finish their 5th time through the batting order. 0 strikeouts.
Thank you. Thank you. Go.
Popping up off the top of the bat, and Booker grabbing that. Putting the bat back into Axel's hand, and is now back at home plate.
Last time I saw a perfect game pitched by a pitcher this late in the World Series was Tim Hibner in a championship game for the West Coast Dogs. They've happened at the series, but you don't see them
and
a lot.
A line drive in the center as he almost goes to third, corrects and runs to first. And Kyle Bora. Kyle Bora for the putout.
See, here's the thing. They're testing the Archers' defense every time, and most of the time, if it's a playable ball, the Archers are answering the test. There hasn't been a lot of errors and so forth. 2 outs now.
Just slid past Mark's hands. Kyle Bora picking that up, bringing Chris Dunlavy up to the plate. Gonna get a new ball.
This might be the moment of the game for both teams. You got Dunleavy up in the 6th spot with 2 outs. You've got Cody Jeffries, who's been on fire, as has Bueller. So if the Archers get the out here, they can come in down by 4. If they don't, they could parlay this into a big Thunder inning, which the Archers at this stage can't afford.
Couple tosses back and forth between Jared and Booker with the new ball as Chris waits by, rocking heel to toe.
This is the at-bat of the game right now, Rosina. This is where the rubber meets the road.
All calm and ready to go.
Yeah, 11-11, right? Thank you.
Larry, you gotta step away.
Thank you.
And he plows it up into right as he runs to first. David Smith scrambling forward as he Supermans on first and gets the run.
And that is huge, and that is clutch by Jared Woodard, the best pitcher on the planet. First pitch to a non-starter who came in as a pinch hitter, and he scores and turns the lineup. Now let's see what the Thunder can do with it. 5-run lead.
Has to be a little discouraging for the Archers out there in the field as they make their way back into position.
But that was a good hit again, opposite field. Excuse me.
Jared back in possession of the ball as Cody Jeffries waits at the plate.
Opposite field, and there was nothing really that
David could do. He was
Smith
there quickly.
Yep.
Just it's a lot of ground to go all the way over to. It was on the line, basically just in the line. You're adjusting and moving David over just a hair more.
Well, you want to be careful doing that because wherever.
Not too far, just a little.
Yeah.
He's almost in a direct line with Ricky from home plate.
That's 30 straight hitters for the Thunder in this game that have put the ball in play. So if you give Woodard any kind of opening on that defense, he's going to exploit it. And he's got the top of his lineup up now. Let's see if somebody on the Archer defense can make a big play here.
Waiting for that plane to finish up passing by.
Want to thank again our presenting sponsors for the 2024 World Series, Mind's Eye Radio and the St. Louis Lighthouse.
Just underneath the bat. And it's going to be over to the right again, but foul by a fair play. That was foul by an easy amount. Ball back up to Jared. Holding the ball up for the outfield. They're asking for another ball.
These balls have seemed to hold up pretty well now in this game here, considering how many times they've been mashed.
And a stronger beep coming
That's a
back
nice,
into
loud
Jared's mitt.
Yep. That is a nice loud ball.
Couple tosses up to Booker.
Boy, they were rolling along, and now we've had another stoppage. Let's see, it hasn't affected Jared yet. I doubt it will here, but you hate to see so many interruptions when you've got a game that's rolling and flowing. You can't help air traffic. You can't help ball changes. But this has had a really good flow to this game.
Cody sitting with the bat up on his shoulder, waiting as he takes a pass. Kind of a as it went by. And it's going to pop foul to the right again. It's consistently going for that right.
Yet I don't seem to want any part of Mark Morris and Justin Howland. I can't blame them.
And it's going to be a grounder over to Mark Morris. Mark going to lay down on it, and he has that up, and that's going to be out.
How does it feel to want, as my old man used to say? That's a grounder right to Morris, and that ends the inning. But the Thunder put up 4. I have 16-11 heading to the bottom of the 5th. Thunder in the lead. Archers need to keep fighting back.
Archers all heading in. Thunder going out to the field. Thank you to Bill Jones, Sue Slocum, Richard Mark, longtime Mind's Eye donors, as well as Ameren, Illinois Power Company for the surrounding area. And also our sponsors for our 250 beat baseballs needed, Cardinals Care and St. Louis Cardinals, Hannigan Realty, and Major League Baseball's Fantasy Kids Foundation. Thank you to all of those sponsors.
And after every Game of the Day stream, we will announce our Andy Hannigan Team Realty and Hannigan Team Realty Player of the Game. We've had a couple of pitchers even win that. I don't know, man. Jared right now is 31 for 31 contact and counting.
Might maintain that and make it a third pitcher.
And unless we go to extra innings, he's only got 3 more chances to strike somebody out because we're going to the bottom of the 5th. I don't think he's going to do it. We'll see. You know, there's the old urban, the old myth that you don't talk about perfect games or no hitters on a broadcast. I don't believe in that. If you've got one going, let everybody know. And right now, Jared Woodard is 31 for 31 with 16 runs. The Archers have made 15 putouts in this game on defense.
Ready, Chris.
And it's going to be a strike for Ricky Castaneda.
And to Mike Curtis's credit, he hasn't had many strikeouts either in this game. Both teams have made the defenses make plays. Just what you want.
It's going to be another strike for Ricky Castaneda.
Ricky is the one who has maybe struggled just a little bit, although he scored a big run, but may need more.
He's taking a pass on that.
Go now.
So now he's got to swing.
Just on the inside of his bat. Going to be foul.
Now, money pits on your toes now.
And you hear Darnell Booker off to our left, the coach of the Thunder, stepping up his intensity a little bit. Struck him
And that's
out.
going to be over the top, and another strikeout for Ricky Castaneda.
That you can't afford. You're running out of outs to play with and chasing 5. Top of the order, Mark Morris. Mike Curtis really needs to focus, dial it back in. He's got 3 of the most prolific run scorers in the league today, and Morris and Howland and Smith coming up. They need runs, I would say, probably out of 2 out of 3 of these hitters, at least.
Is Mark Morris at the plate? We do have that base check.
Because if you don't, they might not get another chance to bat, depending on what happens in the bottom of the 6th.
And a pop up into short mid right, bouncing over Adam Rodenbeck. He's tripped over Chris Dunleavy as he went back for it, and that is going to be a run for Mark Morris. Chris coming running up to back him up, and when Adam missed it and he turned to go for it, tripping right over Chris Dunleavy. That's going to be a run for the Archers.
Well, ideally, and it's easy to say from back here, you want to give that ground before the ball lands, not have to try to make a play on it once it bounces over you. Dunleavy comes up. Thankfully, everybody's okay.
Justin Holland up to the plate.
All right, so that's 1 on the board for Morris. 16-12 now.
And it's going to be a grounder foul on the left.
They don't want ground balls right now in this situation from Justin Howland. You want a line drive or you want something in the air here?
Mike heading back up to pitcher's mound. Justin relaxing and opening back up, and then at the ready.
What a well-played game this has been.
And it's going to be a line drive far on the left as he runs for first. Zach just missing it, and Justin Holland is at the base. That's 2 in a row for the Archers, narrowing that to a 3-run gap.
Top of the Archers order, doing damage again. Now David Smith come to the plate.
Zach Bueller just narrowly missing that as he threw himself out into the way, but it just sailed past his fingers by inches. We are going to have a substitution on the Archers. I believe it will be Nathan Lawson.
He is a rookie, and he is a good-looking rookie. He wasn't able to make it early in the week. He has just gotten here, and it looks like he's going to come in for somebody. I'm a little bit hazy about who, but first David Smith.
Just on above and inside on the bat. And it's going to be a grounder on the left, just past Cody Jeffries' hands.
Axel's
Zach
gotta have
Bueller running up for that. And he is going to be saved. That was a split second between David Smith on third and Zach Bueller. But that's going to go to the Archers.
That's a play that needs to be made, though. That's a ground ball into the heart of the Thunder defense. Mark that play. Let's see how big that comes up. That was the first little blink that we've seen in a long time from either defense.
And we're going to have Kyle Bora up to the plate. Could be a grounder again on the inside left. Cody Jeffries stopping that with his knees, and he's got it. Cody Jeffries with that put out on the left base line.
Good recovery by Jeffries after that last one. All right, that's a big out. Every out is crucial. Every out is a step closer to Championship Saturday.
And this is going to be our Nathan Lawson, who is now for Zion, and he's at the plate.
So they played a little revolving door with the fifth spot in that order, and now Nathan Lawson, the rookie, will get the biggest at-bat of his young career with 2 outs. Needing more runs, still trailing here by 2.
And it's going to be foul on the right. He was a little late on that swing. It would have been a nice line drive, but outside and foul.
Well, I don't think, and I'm not sure Mike Curtis meant for that. I think that was just a late swing by the kid.
I think that was it looked a little late to me.
His power is middle and left.
He's having to back off the plate a hair. Bouncing grounder short up the center as he runs for third. Adam running up for that, not getting. And he's gonna be safe. A run for Nathan Lawson, rookie of Archers.
And all of a sudden, the Thunder defense, which has looked so solid all day, looking awfully shaky. And now that'll bring up Ricky Castaneda with what? 2 outs and a chance to tie the game. Biggest run of the career of Nathan Lawson, the rookie.
Coming back around behind Ricky Castaneda at home plate, smiling and laughing.
The only way to fix this, I think, over there is maybe to move Axel Cox up a couple steps on this grass. He can't help him out. And that was a short ball anyway.
Bouncing grounder at the center again as he runs for third. Adam Rodenbeck and Cody running up. Adam Rodenbeck with that out. He's not going to let that happen again.
So lightning won't strike twice in the same place. That time Rodenbeck was ready. Ricky Castaneda struggling a little bit with his contact in this game. And that's the end of the inning. The Thunder clinging again to the lead. Punch, counterpunch in this heavyweight fight for the right to survive and advance to championship Saturday. Rosita, we're going to the 6th, the final inning of regulation. 16-15 Thunder. How do you like it?
That is close. Thunder only leading by 1. In the top of the 6th, it is just a nail biter. And hey, Philly, are you hungry? S&J's Catering is a premier catering business founded and led in 2017 by a blind entrepreneur whose vision transcends sight. They specialize in a diverse range of cuisines, bringing a gourmet dining experience to any event, whether it's an intimate gathering or a corporate function. From the initial consultation to the final bite, we take pride in making every occasion special. Hey, Philly, are you hungry? Call 215-284-7485. And it looks like we have number 21 in for number 2 on the Archers.
21 should be, is that Demetrius Morrow?
21 is back Ethan Johnson.
Oh, that's Johnston coming back in. He's re-entering, and you are allowed to do that. The re-entry rule requires you to be out for 6 outs.
So we do have the Archers standing along at the baseline. So Ethan is now in before they get ready to head out to the field.
So now they've got their starting right field defense back in there. As the Thunder lead by 1. Heading to the top of the 6th. Archers have the last at-bats in this game, so Jared knows he's going to have to put in some work here. What a game this has been. What a well-played game by both sides.
See you later. Thank you.
field, they subbed Demetrius Morrow for Nathan Lawson, but then they just changed it so Ethan Johnson.
So Ethan Johnson is in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, where did
That's
Demo
what
go?
That's what crossed me up a little bit, is I thought they were bringing in Demo, and then they changed their mind.
They did.
That makes sense to me. I mean, you want Ethan out there if he's healthy.
My first people game.
I don't know why you wouldn't. So it's a good move there.
Got Ethan Johnston in the back. That's going to move David Smith back over to his original position. And Kyle Bora there in the center.
They got to deal with Zach Bueller.
Yep, Zach Bueller up at the plate. And just catching the edge outside with his bat.
Zach Bueller began in the league in mid-2016, and by the World Series, he was a starter.
Just a narrow miss.
Didn't take him long to learn the game. Won it all his rookie year with the Thunder, and they didn't stop.
Took a pass. Ethan Johnson moving over a hair in. And it's going to be foul on the right as Jaden runs over to save the camera tent.
All right, they're at a full count here today. We frankly haven't seen too many of those out of Jared, a few. Let's see if he can put him on his bat. He's working on 31 straight in this game.
Zach Pendulum swinging the bat across home plate and then bringing it up over his shoulder. And it's going to be a pop-up into center right as he runs for third. Ethan Johnson catching out on his legs. Does he have it up? He is going to be safe. Not in time. One run up in the sixth for the Thunder.
How's that for a clutch pitch? Full count, nobody out in a one-run game, and he delivers, and Bueller smokes one. That's why they're among the best.
Aaron C. twisting at the hips, keeping himself flexible as he waits at home plate.
But with the Archers having the last at-bats in this game, Jared knows every run is worth its weight in gold here.
There is no comfort zone. You just want to climb as high as you can go.
And there is no tomorrow for somebody.
Thank you. Thank you. Go.
Aaron C. at the ready. Just underneath the bat.
Z has home run power.
Catching the
No,
edge of his bat. It's
not
going to be a
this
little
time.
grounder, barely fair. I know it's going to be foul as Ricky Castaneda comes creeping up on that. Aaron C. will come back to make a better play.
And probably breathe a sigh of relief. He didn't want that.
Clapped his hands as he was coming back, much happier with the foul call.
Aaron, you didn't want any of that, bud.
This is the last game of the day here at Slica in this 2024 World Series. All that'll be left after this is to determine a world champion.
Taking a pass, huh? And that's going to go just underneath the bat.
Another one to a full count here. Jared connected with Bueller on a full count. Let's see what happens here with Aaron.
And it's going to drop straight down for another foul. Mark Morris trying to run right up on that before it even got started.
Boy, whichever one of these two goes down, they're going to go down swinging. You know that. What a barn burner.
Jared's wiping off the ball. And foul back to cameraman Cam. And it's going to be foul again, right over to Jaden Price, catching it on the first base side.
He's late, and I don't know if he's swinging late or if there's something they're trying to do over there, but I wouldn't be doing it with a full count here with his kind of power. Sometimes with 3 strikes, Jared will go inside on their hands a little bit to make sure that they optimize their chances of making contact.
And it's going to be a tip coming under the scorekeeper table. So you can hear that ball in the background.
Look at Aaron C. hanging tough. What a warrior. Won a couple of rings with the Indy Edge.
And it's going to be a grounder into left just past Ricky Castaneda as he runs for first. David Smith crawling after that. And he's going to be safe. David Smith not getting it up in time.
And the Thunder bench goes crazy. The Archers gave him one back there. That was a ground ball that needed to be picked up. It was not. 3-run game now.
15-8. 18. Thunder leading with Gerald Dicus at the plate.
Still nobody out. And now Dicus, who's been hot all day long today. He is, for a player with with more than 100 career at-bats at the World Series, he is one of the highest career batting averages in this, his 8th season. Over 600. Rarely strikes out, rarely plays defense. He's been their designated hitter almost exclusively since he joined the league in 2016.
Just underneath the bat.
We know we'll have a new champion. The Indy Edge will finish the tournament in 4th. Not having Nick Mulherron hurt the Edge.
It's going to be a short little pop-up, foul back over to Jaden again. Jared coming up to home plate.
Ricky hasn't gotten a ton of action over there in short right, but he needs to be ready anyway.
He's going to take a pass.
So he's been to at least 2 strikes now with every hitter in this lineup in this bottom of the inning, top of the inning.
And dropping straight down.
And the 3rd straight batter to go to a full count now as the drama builds.
Gerald regripping his bat.
Gerald, a registered nurse by trade.
And it's going to be foul as it drops straight down about 3 to 5 feet in front of Gerald.
This looks like a replica of Aaron C's at bat here a little bit.
Very lengthy. And it's going to be a line drive up the center as he runs to first. David Smith, it bounced off his hands, crawling back for it. He's got it. It is going to be out by David Smith. Be Axel Cox up to the home plate for the Thunder.
That was a good play by Smith. Not sure what happened with Dicus. He didn't get down that baseline to the base as fast as maybe I thought he would.
The ball was flying through the air, so it actually got to David fairly quickly, rolled off his fingertips, and he just rolled over backwards and grabbed it. So it was more, I think, the fact not that Gerald wasn't running fast, but that he hit it so fast that it was there to David in within 2 to 3 seconds.
And Smith made a play, and you know, again, David Smith has been on 4 second-place teams at the World Series in his career. Nobody wants to win one more than he does this year.
Axel Cox with a short pop-up into left. Mark Morris territory as he just crumples down and grabs it. That's another put out by Mark Morris and the Archers.
More shutdown defense by Morris. He made it look easy. It wasn't. That ball was in the air. Nobody does it better right now than Mark Morris. 2 outs, and here we go in one of the biggest moments again of the game. 6th spot up in the lineup.
Chris Dunlappy.
He turned the lineup his last time up. Cashed in on this.
catching the edge of the bat. It's going to be a little grounder short left as he
That
runs
should get
to
picked
first.
up.
Ricky Castaneda running over all the way. It's going to be safe. Ricky not even close to that ball. Come running way out to the bench. That's going to be a run for Chris Dunlap.
I wonder if Castaneda heard that ball. Sometimes on thick grass, if the ball comes to rest on its speaker and it's short like that, that was just over the 40-foot line, sometimes you have trouble hearing it. Ricky was sort of buying a ticket to that play. He wasn't anywhere near it.
He was coming running all the way in to the Archers bench as Chris catches the base wires headed back to his bench, and this is going to have Cody Jeffries up to the plate for the Thunder.
There's another reason to start working on or continue working on wireless bases. That way you don't trip over cords and stuff when a blindfolded player comes back. We're working on it. Cody Jeffries.
It's going to be bouncing short center, barely fair if that pass as he runs to first. And he's going to be safe. That was like sitting basically right on the line behind Jared. Ricky coming up and Mark Morris both, but neither one getting that. Cody Jeffries for the run and the Thunder.
And in my humble opinion, and I haven't played since 2019, but I've been around the game for 25 years. I'd like to think I know beat baseball a little bit. The spotter dragged that call a little too long. At some point, you want your fielder to be able to hone in on the ball and not your call.
Zach Bueller up for the Thunder.
That's a big run there, and the Archers have given up some short balls now.
But they can't really afford to.
No. And now Bueller hasn't hit a short one all day.
And pop up into center right as he runs for third. David Smith on it. And that is going to be out
Oh, he
by
gunned
David
him.
Smith.
He gunned him.
did.
Smith gunned Bueller. What a play. Hang a star on that one for D. Smith. Wonder if it'll make a difference. Last at-bats for the Archers.
Heading to the bottom of the sixth. The Archers are going to have to dig in and really slam it out there to get these runs in.
Let me make sure we're correct on this, but I believe we have 20-15.
That's what I have.
Archers needing 5 to tie, 6 to win, 3 outs to do it. And by the way, Jared Woodard, unless we go to extra innings, just completed perhaps the highest scoring perfect game I've seen. Tim Hibner's was not that high scoring, although it was in a championship game. This is one of the greatest games I've ever seen pitched by any individual pitcher.
And Mike Curtis heading over to the pitcher's mound as Archers finish making their way all the way into their bench to start their batting order. The Thunder sets up. Jared moving Cody Jeffries into position.
Consider 38 batters to the plate in this game for the Thunder, 0 strikeouts.
And I believe we have Rich Kressel coming back in, but I'll wait.
We're going to be doing research for a while if this holds up to see what is the most batters to bat in a game without a strikeout for one pitcher.
So we're going to have Mark Morris starting off for the Archers as they trail by 5, bottom of the 6th.
Well, they've got their chance. They've got the top of their lineup up. Mark Morris has been their spark plug all year.
And it's going to be right over the top of the bat for the first strike.
I'm ready, Cody.
He's feeling the front of home plate again. Lining his bat up with it and then bringing it up over the shoulder.
I want to make sure everything's correct, especially in a situation like this.
And it's going to pop right back up off the top of the bat to Cesar Smith. And it's going to be a high pop-up, short and to right. Aaron Rodenbeck coming forward as Mark Gregg safe at third First one for the inning for the Archers, and they need to keep it rolling.
Well placed, and Mark Morris is so darn quick. Maybe the fastest in the game today.
Justin Holland up at the plate, and they could really use a big, solid crack from him.
20-16 now. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. The lead is down to 4.
Checking on the field. First and third. And Justin Holland. And it's going to be a high and deep left. Zach Bueller running back for it, but he's at the base. A run for Justin Holland, 2 in a row for the Archers as they close that gap to 3.
Off the ropes. The Archers fighting off the ropes with their huge contingency here of fans and supporters. 20-17 now, still nobody out. Jared's sitting back now. He's done everything he could do. He can't do anything about this but look on and see if he's going to have to pitch again. We do have an extra inning rule in this league. If the game ends up being tied, it's standard extra innings. We play until somebody wins. You and I have never done an extra inning game together.
No, we have not. This is David Smith at the plate.
David Smith with a couple of ginormous putouts.
Just over the top of the bat. Defending well out there, David Smith. Some of those almost impossible catches. Just under the bat.
You can't overswing in this situation. There you
And
go.
a high pop up into center deep as he runs for first. Aaron going for it, but again, he's already taken out the base. A big chest forward as he comes in to his bench, only behind by 2-3 in a row, David Smith.
This is what you've been working for all season long. They got exactly what they needed out of Morris, a well-placed pop-up with the speed. They got crushes out of Howland, and especially there, David Smith. Nothing the Thunder defense is doing wrong here. It's Archers answering the bell again. 20-18 now, still nobody out. Whoa, Nelly. Folks, if this is the first time you've seen Beat Baseball, either live or on video, you're getting an absolute clinic in this game.
Booker and Jared both returning from the timeout defensively on the field. So we have Kyle Bora up to the plate for the Archers.
And this is now, combined by both teams, the highest scoring game here at this World Series all week. Why not?
First and third.
Here we go.
And almost took off Mike's head as it goes down the center. He runs Aaron C. with that, and he's going to have that out. He laid down, sailing. Mike just scrunched his head down into his shoulders. Otherwise, he might have had a scalping.
What a remarkable play. First of all, by Mike Curtis to get out of the way of it, and then by Aaron C. to cut down that ball in the middle. Everything was perfect on that play, and the defense won out on that one. What a remarkable play. 1 out.
This is our substitution back, and this is Rich Kressel back in the game batting.
So he can come back in, but he has to come.
He has to be back in permanently, but it doesn't matter because this probably will be the last, unless they tie.
But he came in the 5th spot in the batting order. He came back in Ethan Johnston's spot.
Correct.
But he started the game as the DH in the 4th spot.
But they had lost that.
And they lost it. He can't come back. I don't think he can come back in the 5th spot. I don't believe he can do that.
After it's been 6 outs, I believe he can.
Well,
Right here.
It's just a straight
I
substitution.
don't know that I've never ever seen it done though.
Just over the bat.
Either way, it's happening, and unless somebody challenges it, it's allowed to happen.
Just under the bat.
On your toes now, on your toes.
it's going to be a grounder to center, just past. Oh, Cody struggling, not getting it. It's going past him, Axel. And that is going to be safe for
They're both cheering.
They're, of course, going to challenge that.
Was that Crussell that scored on that
That
one?
would have been Crussell if that holds. We're going to confer with that.
Cody Jeffries needed to be cleaner with that.
It rolled past him, and it would have been Axel Cox with the out if they reverse that.
Well, but by the time Axel made, that's a tough play once it gets out to Axel. Oh, this is a huge
Safe.
call.
That's going to stay
Safe.
safe. They only trail by 1 now with Ricky Castaneda up. Not with 2 outs, only 1.
Still needing 2 outs, and now you got Castaneda and Mark Morris dangerous on deck.
It's a very tight game. First and third.
I feel like we keep saying this when we do games. Last year and this year, this is one of the best I've seen.
This is the tightest, closest.
2 fast players now.
Nailed.
Thunder defense really going to get tested, but Ricky's been struggling. In this game, at least.
And it's going to be a grounder right up the center. Adam Rodenbeck running for it. It's back behind him, Darren C. as he runs to first. He's scrambling for it. He's going to be safe, and that will tie the game 2020 with the Archers only having 2 outs left. Mark Morris at the plate.
Right up the middle. You know, we always say when you have 6 players, you're going to give up something on defense. Some teams choose to lock down the middle and put somebody there. Some teams choose to guard the lines. The Thunder, if you're going to beat them, you can beat them toward the middle, and that's what's happened today. Somebody needs to make a play on Morris, or he's going to walk this off. Can you imagine having no strikeouts and 38 batters in a losing cause? I can't. Never have I seen this, but Mark Morris now, the Archers, arguably their most potent scorer if you think about the speed.
A plane going by overhead.
Mark Morris, an accountant by trade, broke in with the Indy Thunder in 2013. Played his first 2 years with the Indy Thunder. He was my middle mate. I played short, he played deep. Then he went, he played 3 years. He was injured in 2015, dealing with health issues, went to the Edge, helped them start their team, won a title with them, and came straight to Gateway.
It's going to be a pop-up just behind Cody Jeffries and left. It's going to be a run. He's caught the base. And that's going to be it. It's going to be the Archers sending in tomorrow.
Bullseye, baby. Bullseye for the best player in the game today. Mark Morris, he was the one you wanted up. Curtis delivered, and they return the favor from Bolingbrook as they walk off the Indy Thunder 21-20 in an instant classic. Thunder will finish third. Archers will go on to face the Philly Fire at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Unbelievable.
Mark pounding his hands into the grass after getting up from third. The entire team rushing out to tackle him and then toss him into the air as Mark Morris delivers.
Oh, look at the mob. There's a team meeting out there for Mark Morris as he walks it off for the Gateway Archers. And for the first time since 2015, we will have a championship game that does not involve the Thunder. My Hannigan Team Realty player of the game is Mark Morris with the walk-off, with an honorable mention to Jared Woodard, 38 batters, 20 runs, never a strikeout, and just not quite enough. What a ball game.
Amazing. We might have gotten a little bit of a late start there, but for those of you who stuck it out with us, that was definitely the game worth waiting for. Congratulations in order for both of these teams as they congratulate each other on